Hi folks, Sean Cordisco back again. Round 11, the last round of the U.S. Chess Championship 2016. It's been a hell of a tournament. I'm going to show one game here from the U.S. Championship, and that is as white. Fabiano Caruana, leader in the tournament. I will say this, Caruana-Rd drew, so did Wesley So in a really tough endgame with a Lenderman. So this is Fabiano's tournament so far. It's going to be a close reload pay as black. I never can pronounce this kid's name. Chandra. Great young player. I'll tell you, the U.S. chess, the future of U.S. chess is in very good hands. We're just going to breeze through the opening. It's a close reload pay. I really don't go into detail on the openings anyway here. There's other YouTube channels for that. We'll just go through to the last book move, A5 by Chandra. Now, I do have to say that Chandra seems to have tons of time problems with his clock. He gets himself in these really big holes on time. And I'll also say he qualified to be in this tournament by winning the U.S. Junior Closed. So it's a big deal. He's rated 2477. This guy's no slouch. H6. We're just going to go through here till the really good part of the game heats up here. Rook A to D8. Knight to F1. Knight D7. Knight G3. Typical reload pay maneuvers. Knight. Typical stuff. Knight G6, black does the same. Bishop B3. Alright, so it's a game. Tiny advantage for black. Nothing to really write home about. Pawn takes. Pawn takes. Bishop takes. Queen takes. Alright. Now we're on move 20. At this point, Fabiano did not know that Nakamura drew as well as Wesley So. In fact, this went on, the Wesley So game went on and on for quite a while. Queen to C6. Bishop just comes back. Actually, that's the computer's choice as well. That move I really don't understand. That's why these guys are playing in the U.S. Championship and I'm not. Bishop C8. H3, just to stop the bishop from going to G4. Bishop E6. They're just playing now. That's going to be a big pain in the behind for white, babysitting that A5 pawn. And also the C3 pawn. Fabiano has similar isolated pawn issues, but they're not nearly as bad. Knight D7. They're just maneuvering their pieces around. Rook A to B1. Kid finally doubles up on the B file. Queen to C5. Doesn't trade. Takes the pawn. Queen takes. Bishop comes back. Queen goes back to C5. Alright. They got rid of their A pawns. Queen takes. Knight takes. Bishop. Now you see this a lot in Grandmaster games. I think all of us would play bishop takes, bishop, rook takes. These guys go for the best move only. Knight hitting the rook. He moves the rook. Then the other knight comes in. Knight to E1. Knight takes. Rook takes. Rook D2. He's looking for the smallest advantages he can. Bishop F1 again. Now we're on move 33 and the kid's in tremendous time trouble. Chandra's white is just down to a couple of minutes. To give you an idea, it's a 30-second increment per move in this tournament. Fabiano just slowly turns up the pressure. Now you have double rooks. So he goes knight to knight 1 just to guard the F2 pawn. I mean, look at that knight in the corner. Dismal, dismal. Rook C7. He guards the pawn. Knight G3 comes back out. Rook C2. Hitting the other pawn. C4. G6. Just to eyeball the F5 square. Rook B1. And they're just maneuvering around. And now this is where I think... Now, coincidentally, Black just made his 40th move. And here, Gary Kasparov talks about this all the time. The move after time control. For some reason, people blunder a lot. Probably should play H4 for white. He goes Rook C to B7. And just like that, it's an over 2-point advantage for Caruana. Here he comes. Knight goes back again. Now Bishop takes. Bishop takes, Rook takes. Rook E7. Rook B4. Moves the Rook. Tries to get them to trade rooks. Doesn't do it. Brings the knight back. Now it looks like Black's in trouble. Not really. Knight to D8. Rook over. King F6. Black's in total control. Even though those rooks look scary. Can't do anything about that knight sitting there. It's a great defensive piece. Rook D1 check. King goes up. E takes. E5 check. King to G5. Rook takes. Knight to E6. Now it's overwhelming advantage. 8 points for Black. He's just going through the motions here. And finally Fabiano goes Rook D to D2. And that's where the kid throws in the towel. So congratulations to Fabiano Caruana, the new U.S. chess champion. Well deserved. Caro had a tough time at the beginning. Give you an idea what would have happened after King G1, Rook takes, King F1, other Rook comes over. I mean, he just has to give it all away, and there's nothing he can do. He has to give away all his pieces to save his king, and it's still not going to matter because that's mate. So, again, congratulations to Fabiano Caruana. You'll see a short interview with Fabiano at the end of this video. I feel badly that my buddy Carl didn't pull through. I did predict him to win. I thought that Caruana was going to collapse because he just barely missed making it to the World Championship. And I was wrong. Fabiano held it together, and he seems to be better spirits than ever. And it was Carl that I think had some carryover from the candidates that was luggage in this tournament. Anyway, folks, it is what it is. And as I always say, if you think chess is just a game, you're not playing it right. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.
Champ is here. Fabiano Caruana closing it out with a win. First of all, Fabi, congratulations on being the new U.S. champion.
Thank you.
What does it mean to you to be the champion of your country?
This was one of the most important tournaments. I mean, and of course the candidates was also extremely important for me, but I would say this this tournament was massively important, and I really came in wanting to win the title. So yeah, it's I'm not sure if it's my biggest achievement to date, but probably one of the wins I'm most satisfied with.
Winning a tournament with such illustrious opposition, you had tough players, you had to defeat one of your main rivals, Hikaru Nakamura. And you also played some really nice games. Was it satisfying from a creative point of view?
Yeah, I think overall I played pretty good chess. There was one weak moment yesterday against Kamsky, but I think in a tournament it's pretty much expected that you're going to have one weak moment at least. So yeah, I think overall my play was quite good.
You won 2 with black as well, 4 with white, 2 with black. What were your thoughts about today's game in particular?
Well, I didn't want to take too many risks, because, I mean, as it turns out, probably a draw would have been enough. I think Wesley So is not making any progress in this game. But I also, I mean, of course, Wesley and Hikaru can win against anyone. And, okay, I mean, they had a tough situation. They were both playing black. But I thought that I should at least play for a win and try to not leave my faith in my opponent's hands.
There was a tricky position in your game that happened when you took on C3. Did you see that he had this Rook D1, Bishop F7 sacrifice?
Yeah, that's why I spent so much time, because Yeah, if I don't take on c3, let's say I take on e3, queen takes,
Sorry, I just. Yep.
and play queen c6. Now I think a strong move is b3. Knight g4, queen c1 leads nowhere. So at some point I'm going to have to trade pawns, and then the bishop on c4 is really strong. Just cemented there. My pawn on a6 is weak, and he has a c-file to potentially attack my c-pawn. So this I really didn't like. So I spent a lot of time calculating b takes c3. Rook a1 is the most testy move. Queen c6, bishop f7. King f7, queen c4, queen e6, queen c5. And here I saw a few ways in which I thought I should be able to hold the position without big problems. And I was also, I mean, I didn't really want to go for this, but objectively my position is slightly worse, so I don't think I had anything better. And here I saw something like rook d1, king g8 was decent. So I thought that maybe c takes b2 instead of rook d1. But I mean, I'll probably win the e-pawn. Maybe I'll end up down a pawn, but with obstacle bishops, and his king is a bit weak. I would actually say his king, after I take on e4 and have the light square bishop down the diagonal, his king is weaker than mine. So I didn't really feel like I was in much danger. Oh, he should probably take on c7, because this is just good for black. Queen c7 and rook f7, and then my king on h7 is extremely safe. His king seems less safe. So
you assessed this position when you went for this line?
I thought I mean, the other way, it's just too easy for him. His play is too easy, and at least here he'll have to calculate, make some difficult moves. I don't know if he saw this and rejected it, or if he just didn't see it.
Wow, great assessment. Thanks for clearing that up with us. Wesley is now drawn, so in the distance are your competitors in this competition. Did you think you would win by what it turns out, is it a full point?
Yeah.
You think you would win by a full point in this field?
I can't say I expected it. I mean, I can't even say I expected to win, but I think in terms of the quality of play, probably I deserve the result. I mean, +6, and I wasn't really in danger in any games. While if you look at the games of other players, I mean, they played well, but they were in danger in some games, and like Wesley was losing in the second round. I mean, I think my play was probably most consistent, so the result doesn't seem too, it seems pretty logical to me.
You had a very near miss in Moscow. Does this win make up for it?
Yeah, I'd say so. No, I'm really happy with this. It's probably the strongest US championship in history. I mean, this competition was really tough. Wesley and Hikaru are extremely dangerous opponents, and maybe with some luck on their side, they could have scored +6. But yeah, but I mean, this is in terms of quality of play and the result and winning the U.S. championship. It's one of my most satisfying wins.
There are other tournaments to come in the near future. The Olympic team, the Olympiad, we're going to have a very strong team. You, Naka, Wesley So, and looks like Ray Robson is on the team as well. What do you fashion as your chances to winning maybe a gold medal at the tournament?
We have our chances. I wouldn't say they're necessarily better than other top teams, but we have our good chances if all the players come together.
So you're committed to playing in that tournament?
Of course.
What about next year's championship? You've won one. There's a number of players two players in this tournament who won more than 4. Naka winning 4, Kamsky winning 5. Would you be defending your title next year?
I'm exhausted right now. I don't want to think about next year.
Well, congratulations on your victory in your very first championship. We appreciate your play and your time with us, and thanks for giving us so many entertaining games.
Thank you.
Fabiano Caruana, the 2016 U.S. chess champion. I'm sure it's got a nice ring to it. First place, 50.